The war had lasted longer than anyone remembered. For decades, the Galactic Alliance had fought the Zarth Dominion, an empire of machines that spread across the stars without mercy. Entire fleets disappeared in moments, planets were stripped of life, and star systems went silent. The aliens of the Alliance were strong, clever, and united. But even they could not stop the tide of destruction. In every council hall, in every meeting, the same phrase haunted the leaders: "We are losing. The war is over." Commander Elias Grant sat in the command room of the Alliance flagship Varanus. He was human, one of the last who served under alien command. Most humans had been banned from war decades ago. They were too dangerous, too unpredictable. The Alliance remembered the wars humans had fought in the past, and they did not want to repeat them. Humans were clever, fearless, and terrible in battle. They could adapt to any situation, fight against any enemy, and survive when others would die. And now, seeing the Zarth spreading across the galaxy, the aliens realized they might need that dangerous power again. Elias stared at the holographic map in front of him. Red dots marked Zarth-occupied systems. Entire regions of the galaxy had already fallen. The Alliance fleets were scattered, broken, and retreating. In the center of the map, a single blinking dot showed the Zarth command ship moving toward the outer colonies. Every blink brought fear. Every movement meant death. The council had gathered on the Varanus. Supreme Chancellor Tovarek, a tall alien with skin that shimmered like polished stone, spoke quietly. His voice was calm, almost cold. "If we continue like this, nothing will remain of the Alliance. Entire worlds will be consumed. We cannot fight the Zarth with what we have." There was a long silence. Every alien in the room felt it. They had tried everything: traps, fleets, secret weapons. Nothing had worked. Then Tovarek leaned closer, his voice barely a whisper. "There is one option, one final hope. We could unleash the humans." The words hung in the room like a storm. Some gasped, others froze. Humans were not just soldiers. They were legends of war. They could turn impossible battles into victories. But they were also dangerous. Many species had learned to fear them, to hate them, and to avoid giving them power. Now the council was faced with a choice: let the Zarth win or risk the humans. Elias did not speak. He had heard rumors of this decision, but never expected it to become reality. He remembered his training, the human battles he had seen long ago. Humans did not fight like the Zarth. They did not rely on numbers or perfect coordination. They fought with cunning, courage, and a single, unshakable will. If unleashed, humanity could destroy the Zarth or destroy everything in the galaxy. There was no middle ground. An alien ambassador, small and gray, shook its limbs nervously. "We cannot. The humans were banned. They cannot be trusted. We cannot release them." Tovarek's eyes glowed faintly. "Trust is not the question. Survival is. If the Zarth continue unchecked, all life will end. The humans are our only option." Elias felt a chill. This was more than a mission. It was a sentence. To release humanity was to invite both salvation and chaos. He stood and bowed his head. "I will carry your message," he said. His voice was steady, though his heart raced. "If the humans agree, they will act. If they refuse, then we are finished." The council ended the meeting quickly. There was no applause. There was no celebration. Only the quiet hum of failing engines and the blinking red dots of dying worlds. Elias prepared for the journey back to Earth. He was to deliver a message that could either save the galaxy or doom it entirely. The voyage to Sol System took weeks, but in space, weeks passed like days. Elias spent most of the time staring out the viewport, watching the stars. He remembered the old battles humans had fought long before he had joined the Alliance. He thought of humans who had survived impossible odds, who had turned hopeless wars into victories. The stories were almost unbelievable, yet every legend he had heard was true. Humanity was not just brave, they were relentless, clever, and fearless. And now the galaxy depended on them. When he finally entered Earth's orbit, Elias could see the planet scarred. Decades of peace had changed nothing, but the world had not healed completely. Cities were rebuilt, but old military sites still remained, reminders of wars humans had fought. Most of the population lived simple lives, unaware of the galaxy beyond their sky. The humans who remember the past war were gone or sleeping. Hidden away from a world that feared them, Elias made his way to Nevada, where the Black Vault lay hidden beneath the desert. The vault had been sealed for 50 years, a place where humanity's last military leaders slept in cryogenic chambers. The Alliance had forbidden their reawakening, but now, desperation had returned them to life. Inside the vault, the air was cold and still. Machines hummed softly, keeping life suspended in quiet stasis. Elias approached the first chamber. A human female lay inside, her face calm. Her name was General Olivia Kane, the last supreme commander of the Human Defense Forces. Elias activated the awakening sequence. The chamber hissed, steam rising as the cryogenic suspension ended. Kane's eyes opened slowly, sharp and focused. "Commander Grant," she said. Her voice was steady, cold, and commanding. "I was wondering when you would come." Elias explained the situation. He told her about the Zarth Dominion, the dying fleets, and the Council's decision. Kane listened carefully, her expression unreadable. When he finished, she was silent for a moment. Then she spoke, almost a whisper, so they finally remembered who wins their wars. The awakening did not stop with Kane. Elias moved through the vault, activating others. Captain Ryan Cole, a fleet strategist known for bold tactics. Lieutenant Maria Torres, a young officer skilled in AI systems and cyber warfare. And several others, all veterans of battles long past. Each opened their eyes slowly, remembering what they had been trained for, remembering what humanity had once done. Kane called them together in the central chamber. The humans stood, stretching stiff muscles and testing old reflexes. "Listen," she said, her voice strong and commanding. "They have asked for our help. The galaxy is at the edge of destruction. The Zarth cannot be stopped by the Alliance. Only we can fight them." Ryan Cole frowned. "The Alliance trusts us again? After everything?" Kane shook her head. "They don't trust us. They are desperate, and that is enough. We don't need their trust. We need to win." Elias felt a mixture of awe and fear. These humans were legends, but they were also dangerous. Every word they spoke carried the weight of a mind trained for war. He realized then that the decision to awaken humanity would change the galaxy forever. Kane led the humans to the briefing room. Holograms of the Zarth territories appeared, red zones marking conquered systems. The humans studied them silently. Maria Torres examined data streams, her fingers flying over holographic controls. She spoke softly, almost to herself. "They have no idea how close they are to losing everything." Kane nodded. "Then we will show them. Humanity will act, and the Zarth will learn what fear is." The humans began planning. Old strategies mixed with new ideas, combining human ingenuity with the technology of the modern age. They rebuilt ships, reactivated AI cores, and readied weapons that had been forbidden by the Alliance. Every action was precise, every plan bold. At night, Elias sat alone in the vault. He looked at the humans, now awake and preparing for war. He realized the galaxy had made a dangerous choice. By awakening humanity, they had invited both salvation and chaos. He thought about what Kane had said. "We don't need their trust. We need to win." And he knew she was right. Trust would not save the galaxy. Only action could. As the stars moved slowly above the desert, Elias made a silent promise. He would help the humans in any way he could. He did not know what would come next. He did not know if the humans would succeed. But he knew this. The Zarth had never faced humanity at full strength. And the galaxy was about to learn why humans were feared above all. The first part of the plan was simple: awaken humanity, gather their forces, and prepare for war. The second part would be the hardest: unleashing them. And the third part, no one could predict. For the first time in decades, hope glimmered in the galaxy. Not the cautious hope of the Alliance, but the raw, dangerous, unstoppable hope of humans ready to fight. And in the quiet of the Nevada desert, beneath the hum of machines and the glow of holograms, humanity stirred once more. Elias watched them and whispered to himself, "The final command has begun." The stars above Earth seemed to shine brighter that night. Somewhere beyond the clouds, beyond the broken cities, the galaxy waited. The humans were awake. The war was far from over, and the Zarth had no idea what was coming. The humans had been awake for only a few days, but the Black Vault was alive with energy. Machines hummed, lights flickered, and holographic maps of the galaxy glowed in every room. General Olivia Kane moved through the corridors with calm authority. Every step she took carried the weight of experience, the kind of strength that only humans who had survived countless battles could carry. Elias Grant followed her, observing silently. The humans worked with quiet precision. Some examined ancient starship designs, others reviewed tactical records that had been locked away for decades. Every human in the vault seemed to remember what it was like to be on the front lines, to face impossible odds and survive. Kane gathered the key officers in the central planning room. Ryan Cole, her fleet strategist, studied the holographic display of the Zarth Dominion. Maria Torres, the young AI engineer, examined streams of encrypted data intercepted from Zarth communications. The Zarth are more organized than we expected, Ryan said, pointing at a cluster of red dots that represented occupied systems. But they are predictable. They follow patterns. If we can identify the weak points, we can strike faster than they can react. Maria nodded. Their communication network is advanced, but not perfect. If we can infiltrate it, we can mislead them, redirect fleets, even make them destroy each other. Kane turned to Elias. We need ships. We cannot fight the Zarth from the vault alone. Elias hesitated. The alliance is broken. Most of the fleets are destroyed. There are very few ships left in our control. Kane's eyes burned with determination. Then we will build them. We have the designs. We have the technology. And we have time. Enough to make the first move. The humans moved quickly, deep beneath the desert. In hidden factories that had been sealed for decades, they began assembling ships. Massive hulls rose from the ground, engines roared to life, and weapons systems hummed with energy. These were not ordinary ships. They were built to adapt, to fight, and to survive even the deadliest attacks. The AI systems that Maria worked on were connected directly to human minds, allowing a level of coordination that no other species could match. Ryan walked along the assembly lines, inspecting the ships. He ran his hand over the smooth metal of a newly completed dreadnought. They will be ready faster than expected, he said. If we work day and night, we can strike in weeks instead of months. Kane nodded. Good. Prepare the crews. Train them. Make sure every human here knows what is at stake. The Zarth will not give us time. We have to be ready before they even notice we exist. Elias watched as humans from across the galaxy arrived at the vault. Survivors from distant colonies, scientists, engineers, and pilots joined the effort. They had been living quiet lives, hiding from a universe that feared them. Now they were awake, ready, and focused. One of the new arrivals was Captain Linda Harris, a pilot who had flown in countless battles decades ago. She walked briskly into the room, her eyes sharp. The Alliance ships we have left are barely enough to hold the front lines. If we are to strike the Zarth, we need something stronger, faster, and smarter. Maria smiled. That is exactly what we are building. For days, humans worked without rest. Sleep was optional, and the sense of purpose was overwhelming. Every human knew what had to be done. Every human understood that the galaxy's survival depended on them. Elias had never seen such determination. He had served under humans before, but never at this scale. It was frightening and inspiring at the same time. One evening, Kane called a meeting. The human officers gathered around a large holographic map. We have gathered intelligence, she began. The Zarth are preparing to launch an assault on the outer colonies. They do not know we are awake. They do not know what we are building. That is our advantage. Ryan pointed at a star system marked in red. This system is poorly defended. If we strike here first, we can disrupt their supply lines and slow their advance. It will buy us time to complete the fleet. Kane nodded. Good. Prepare a team for a strike. We cannot send everyone. Just enough to make an impact. Maria, you will handle the AI infiltration. Ryan, you will command the strike fleet. Elias, You will coordinate with the Alliance forces we still control. Elias swallowed. Understood. But the Alliance commanders are nervous. They may not follow orders if they see humans taking control. Kane's gaze was steady. They will follow because they have no choice. If we fail, they are all dead. If we succeed, they survive. That is the only language they understand. The strike team moved quickly. Pilots familiar with Earth's old war tactics prepared their ships. Engineers loaded weapons and shields. Maria connected her AI programs directly to the ship's systems, allowing humans to think and act as one with the machines. When the team was ready, Kane addressed them. Remember this, the Zarth have never faced humans at full strength. They underestimate us. They always underestimate us. Strike hard, strike fast, and never stop. The galaxy depends on you. The ships lifted from the hidden docks, engines roaring. Lights flashing. Elias watched from the control room as the human fleet entered orbit. The size and strength of the ships amazed even him. They were not the largest, nor the most numerous, but every ship was built for efficiency, speed, and destruction. Every AI was programmed to adapt to any threat. Every human in the fleet knew exactly what to do. As the fleet left Earth orbit, Maria Torres activated the AI network. Streams of data flowed into her terminal, connecting the ships as one unit. They will respond as one mind, she said. Every movement, every attack, every defense. Humans and machines working together. The Zarth will not see it coming. Days later, the fleet approached the first Zarth system. The red dot on the map was now within reach. The humans observed the enemy through their sensors. The Zarth machines moved in patterns, predictable but deadly. Entire planets were guarded by automated fleets. Any mistake could mean annihilation. Kane took a deep breath. We begin at dawn, she said. Strike with everything we have. Leave nothing alive. Show them why humans were feared. Ryan Cole's hands moved quickly over the control panel. The drones are in position. Weapons systems are online. AI cores are synced. We are ready. At dawn, the first human ships engaged. The Zarth were surprised. They had never seen humans strike like this. The attack was swift, precise, and devastating. The humans used tactics no machine could predict. They attacked from unexpected angles, adapted mid-battle, and forced the Zarth to respond in confusion. Elias watched from the control room. Heart pounding. The humans were not just fighting, they were rewriting the rules of war. Entire fleets of Zarth machines were destroyed in hours. The humans took minimal losses. Each move calculated to achieve maximum impact. Maria's AI programs worked flawlessly. She could see every Zarth movement before they made it. She directed. The ships corrected mistakes instantly and sent false signals to confuse the enemy further. Every Zarth machine that survived the first strike was lost to the humans' cunning and planning. Kane's voice was calm but fierce. Keep moving. Don't stop. We are only getting started. As the sun rose over the Zarth system, the human fleet pressed the attack. Planets that had been controlled by machines for decades were liberated in hours. Systems that had been considered lost forever were now under human control. The Zarth were shocked. They had never encountered an enemy like this. They had underestimated humans, and it was a mistake. They would not survive. Elias felt a mixture of pride and fear. The humans were magnificent, but the war was far from over. The Zarth would respond, and when they did, the humans would face the full strength of the Dominion. But for now, victory was theirs. Back on Earth, Kane addressed her team. This is only the beginning. We have shown them what humanity can do. But the galaxy is not safe yet. We must continue, build more ships, train more crews, and prepare for what comes next. The Zarth will not forget today, and neither will we. Elias looked at the humans around him. They were focused, determined, and fearless. They had been forgotten, banned, and hidden away, yet now they were awake, alive, and ready to fight. And the galaxy, for the first time in decades, had hope. As night fell over the desert, the human fleet rested in orbit, waiting for the next command. Kane stood on the observation deck, looking at the stars. The Alliance wanted us controlled, she said softly. The Zarth wanted us dead, and now we are free. Free to fight, Free to win. Elias nodded. And dangerous. Kane smiled faintly. Yes, that too. Somewhere far away, the Zarth Dominion continued its march across the galaxy, unaware that the humans had returned. When they realized, it would be too late. Humanity had awoken, and the final command had begun. The galaxy would never be the same. The humans had won their first strike, but Kane knew this was only the beginning. The Zarth Dominion would not forgive them. The machines would respond with full force, and the galaxy itself trembled at the thought. Yet the humans did not falter. In the Black Vault and across Earth's hidden shipyards, preparations continued. Every human was focused, every mind sharp, every hand steady. Kane gathered her key officers in the strategy room. The holographic map showed the Zarth fleets regrouping in the next sector. They are angry, she said simply, and they will come at us with everything they have. We cannot allow them to catch us unprepared. We strike first, harder, and faster. Rheinkohl, standing beside the map, pointed at several red clusters. These are heavily defended. They have concentrated forces near the central core. If we hit them directly, it could cost us half our fleet. But if we use diversionary attacks, we can weaken them and divide their attention. Maria Torres, her fingers flying over the holographic controls, nodded. I can infiltrate their AI network again. If we feed them false data, we can manipulate their fleet movements. They will attack where we want, not where they should. Kane turned to Elias Grant, coordinate with the remaining Alliance ships. Their numbers are small, but they can hold strategic positions. We need time to complete our preparations for the main strike. Elias nodded. I will do everything I can. But the Alliance commanders are hesitant. Some still fear humans more than Zarth machines. Kane smiled faintly. Good. Let them fear. We are not here to win their trust. We are here to win the war. The humans moved with efficiency that astonished Elias. While Alliance ships took defensive positions in outer systems, human engineers and scientists completed the remaining dreadnoughts. Massive hulls rose from the deserts, engines tested to their limits, and weapons systems loaded with energy. Every ship had AI cores directly linked to human minds. A system banned decades ago for being too dangerous. Captain Linda Harris oversaw the fleet's training simulations. Young pilots, engineers, and soldiers who had never fought in a real battle were put through rigorous exercises. They learned to adapt, improvise, and respond to threats that could not be predicted. They learned that humans did not just follow rules, they created new ones in the middle of battle. Finally, Kane summoned everyone to the briefing room. The human fleet was ready. Every pilot, every engineer, every soldier was prepared to act. Kane stood at the head of the table, her eyes sweeping the room. Today, we begin the full campaign. We no longer strike with small teams. We are taking the fight to them. Every Zarth world we liberate weakens them. Every fleet we destroy brings us closer to ending this war. Are you ready? A chorus of voices answered. Yes, ma'am. Rheinkohl stepped forward. The first target is the Zarth manufacturing system. It is heavily defended, but vulnerable if we hit from multiple angles. Maria will disrupt their AI defenses. Our fleets will strike simultaneously, forcing them to split their forces. Maria's eyes lit up. Once the AI infiltration is complete, their systems will fight against each other. They won't even know what is real. Their entire defense network will collapse from within. Kane nodded. Good. Let's move. The human fleet lifted from Earth's orbit. Engines roared, and lights flashed across the desert like stars coming alive. Elias watched from the command center, a mixture of pride and fear filling him. The humans were magnificent, but he knew the Zarth would not be defeated easily. When the fleet entered hyperspace, Maria activated the AI network. Streams of data flowed into her terminal, connecting every ship in the fleet. Every human mind was linked to the AI cores, creating a single unit that could think, act, and respond faster than any Zarth machine. The fleet moved as one, a single entity with hundreds of ships. As they emerged from hyperspace, the Zarth manufacturing system appeared. Massive planets surrounded by swarms of machines. Red warning lights flashed across the human displays. The Zarth were ready. Kane's voice cut through the room. Attack now. No hesitation. No mercy. The human fleet split into multiple groups, attacking from unexpected angles. The Zarth responded, but their coordination was poor. Maria's AI infiltration created false sensor readings, showing phantom fleets where none existed. Zarth machines fired at empty space, wasting energy and ammunition. Ryan Cole led one of the strike groups directly toward the main manufacturing planet. His ship weaved through enemy fire, dodging energy beams and missile barrages. Keep moving, he shouted into the comms. Trust the AI network. Trust each other. We cannot stop now. Explosions erupted across the system as human ships struck with precision. Planetary shields faltered, factories exploded, and Zarth fleets were destroyed in waves. The humans moved with speed and efficiency, never pausing, never doubting. On one of the command ships, Kane watched the battle unfold. They think in patterns. She said quietly, "We think in possibilities. That is why they cannot defeat us." Elias stood beside her. "It is incredible. They are doing what the Zarth could never imagine." Kane's eyes did not leave the display. They will adapt. They will survive. That is why humanity cannot be ignored. That is why the galaxy needs them. Even if it does not realize it yet, hours passed, and the Zarth resistance weakened. Human ships moved through the system, targeting every factory, every weapon platform, every fleet assembly point. Even the Zarth's central AI could not predict their movements. It tried to reroute defenses, but Maria's infiltration redirected every signal, every command. Machines turned on each other, fleets collided, and entire planets were crippled before the humans even landed. Elias could hardly believe what he was seeing. The humans were not just winning, they were dominating. Every decision was precise. Every strike calculated. The Zarth machines were clever, but they could not match the unpredictability and intelligence of humans working with adaptive AI. On the ground, human boarding teams moved quickly. Soldiers in powered armor stormed Zarth facilities, destroying weapon caches and disabling command centers. Ryan Cole personally led one team, cutting through resistance with efficiency and skill. Machines that had once terrorized entire star systems fell to humans who fought with courage, strategy, and relentless determination. Kane's fleet moved in perfect synchronization. Each ship knew exactly where the others were, shields, weapons, and engines responded instantly to any threat. The humans were no longer just pilots, they were one with their ships, one with the AI, one with the battlefield. By the end of the first day, the Zarth manufacturing system was in ruins. Factories were destroyed, fleets scattered, and command centers obliterated. The humans had achieved what the Alliance had failed to do for decades. The cost was high, ships had been lost, soldiers had died, but the victory was undeniable. Kane addressed the fleet through the comms. "This is only the beginning. The Zarth will retaliate, but they will never expect the full power of humanity. We will continue to strike, continue to fight, and continue to win. The galaxy will remember this day." Ryan Cole turned to his team. "We've done well, but the war is far from over. Every system we liberate, every fleet we destroy, brings us closer to ending this war. Stay focused, stay sharp, and trust each other." Maria Torres smiled faintly. "They will rebuild, but they cannot predict us. They cannot adapt to human ingenuity. And that is why we will win." Elias looked at the stars, watching the remnants of the Zarth system burn. He thought of the galaxy, broken and frightened, and he realized something important. Humans were not just soldiers. They were the answer to a problem no one else could solve. They were dangerous, clever, and unstoppable. And the Zarth had no idea what was coming next. Kane's voice broke his thoughts. "Prepare for the next system. The Zarth will regroup, but we will be ready. Humanity does not wait for permission. Humanity does not ask for hope. Humanity creates it." The fleet moved again, faster than before. Every ship, every human, every AI core worked together as one. The humans were no longer just soldiers, they were a force of nature, sweeping through the galaxy with precision, strategy, and relentless determination. Elias felt both awe and fear. Awe at the power of humanity, fear at the destruction they could bring. But one thing was certain, The Zarth had never faced humans at full strength, and the galaxy would never forget the day they did. The humans had awakened, the war had escalated, and the final command of the galaxy had begun in earnest. The Zarth Dominion was finished. That fact alone was almost unbelievable. Entire fleets, once considered unstoppable, lay in ruins across dozens of star systems. Planets that had been consumed by Zarth machines were free again. The galaxy, which had trembled for decades, finally breathed. But the humans did not celebrate. They had won the war, yes, but the cost had been immense, and the silence after the battles was heavy. General Olivia Kane stood on the bridge of her flagship. The stars stretched endlessly before her, unbroken by the smoke of battle for the first time in decades. She gazed at the wreckage of the Zarth capital system through the viewports. Each destroyed planet a testament to human skill and determination. Is it really over? Elias Grant asked quietly, standing beside her. His voice held a mix of relief and unease. Kane turned slowly, her face tired but calm. Over for them, yes, she said. But nothing is ever over for humanity. We survive, we adapt, and we move forward. That is what we do. The galaxy can recover now. The Zarth cannot. Across the fleet, Ryan Cole coordinated the remaining ships. Many of the vessels had suffered damage in the final assaults. Repairs were underway, but every human crew knew that they had done what no other species could. Entire machine armies had been broken, not by numbers, but by intelligence, strategy. And Maria Torres worked tirelessly in the communications room, checking and rerouting data. The AI network she had developed had not just assisted in battle, it had changed the war itself. By linking human minds directly to the AI cores, the humans had become faster than the Zarth, smarter than the Zarth, and almost impossible to defeat. In the silence of space, Kane called a meeting with her senior officers. They gathered in the briefing room aboard the flagship, surrounded by holographic displays of the galaxy. Every red dot of Zarth-controlled systems was now gone. The humans had liberated star systems that had not seen life for decades. We have done what no one else could, Kane said, her voice firm. The Zarth are gone, their fleets destroyed, their factories obliterated. But we cannot forget what this war cost us. Thousands of humans have died. Many ships are lost. And yet, the galaxy survives because of us. Ryan Cole stepped forward. They will try to rebuild, he said. Other species in the galaxy will fear humans now, perhaps more than they did before. And some may even resent us. They will see what we can do, and they may want to control us, contain us, or even destroy us. Kane nodded. Let them try. We do not act out of fear of what others think. We act because it is right, because it is necessary, because we are humans, and we are unstoppable when the survival of life is at stake. Elias Grant looked around the room. The humans before him were exhausted, yet their eyes burned with determination. He realized something clearly for the first time. These were not just soldiers, not just fighters. They were a force unlike anything the galaxy had ever faced. And the galaxy had no choice but to remember them back on Earth. Celebrations were small but heartfelt. Citizens who had lived quietly under the fear of the Zarth now looked to the stars with hope. Survivors from the colonies sent messages of gratitude. Humans had not just fought, they had saved countless lives across the galaxy. But Kane did not dwell on celebration. There were still survivors of the Zarth Dominion, scattered machines and remote systems that could regroup if left unchecked. The humans began clearing these remnants, hunting them down with precision. Every destroyed machine, every liberated planet, added to humanity's growing legend. Elias watched a group of soldiers preparing for another mission. Young pilots, engineers, and fighters who had joined during the war now moved like veterans. Kane approached him quietly. They are learning what it means to be human, she said softly. Courage, skill, intelligence, and the willingness to fight when all else fails. They will carry this into the future. Weeks passed. The galaxy slowly returned to normal. Trade resumed. Planets began rebuilding. Communication between systems improved. Yet the humans remained vigilant. Kane knew that the galaxy would need them again, sooner or later. Humanity had become a protector, a force that no one could challenge easily. Elias walked along the bridge of the flagship, looking at the stars. "Do you ever wonder if we went too far?" he asked quietly. "If we destroyed too much?" Kane shook her head. "We did what was necessary. The Zarth would not have stopped. They would have consumed everything. We did not destroy life, we saved it. Sometimes, saving life means making hard choices. Choices others cannot make. That is why we are humans." Meanwhile, the remaining Zarth scattered across the galaxy tried to regroup. But they were weak and disorganized. When they encountered human fleets, they were destroyed quickly. Humanity's reputation had grown so large that entire systems surrendered before battles began. The message was clear. Humans could not be defeated. Elias marveled at the strategy. Humans had turned fear into a weapon. They did not need to fight every battle. Their reputation alone reshaped the galaxy. Every system that saw the humans in action understood one truth: never underestimate them. Back aboard the flagship, Kane addressed the fleet one final time. "We have done what was necessary. The Zarth are gone, the galaxy is free, and life can continue. But remember this, we do not fight for glory. We fight because it is right. We fight because no one else can. And we will continue to fight if we must." Ryan Cole stepped forward. "The galaxy will remember this. Even if they fear us, even if they resent us, they will remember what humans can do. And that memory will protect life for generations." Kane nodded. "Yes, and one day, they may need humans again. But for now, we go home. We rebuild, we rest, and we remain ready, because humanity never forgets what it means to survive." Elias felt the weight of her words. The humans had not only fought the war, they had changed the galaxy forever. Every species, every system, every world would remember the humans. They would remember the courage, the skill, the determination, and the willingness to act when no one else could. As the fleet moved toward Earth, the stars shone brightly above. The galaxy was quiet for the first time in decades. Humanity had unleashed its full power, and nothing could challenge it again for a long time. Yet the humans did not boast. They did not celebrate loudly. They had done what was necessary, and that was enough. In the quiet of the bridge, Kane stood alone for a moment. She looked at the stars, thinking of those lost in battle, thinking of the galaxy they had saved, thinking of the humans who would carry this legacy forward. She whispered to herself, "We did what we had to do, and we survived. That is what it means to be human." Elias joined her. "Do you think the galaxy will ever forgive us?" he asked. Kane smiled faintly. "Forgive us? They will not need to forgive us. They will need us. And that is enough. Humanity does not fight for forgiveness. Humanity fights for survival. And survival is something the galaxy will always respect." As the fleet entered Earth orbit, lights of the planet shining beneath them, the humans finally allowed themselves to rest. The war was over. The Zarth Dominion had been destroyed. The galaxy was free, and humanity had proven itself once again. Yet the humans knew the truth. This victory was not the end. It was proof of what they could achieve. The galaxy would face challenges again, and when it did, humans would be ready. Kane stood on the observation deck, looking at Earth. The home they had returned to was quiet, peaceful, and scarred. But it was theirs, and for the first time in decades, humanity felt the calm after a storm. Ryan Cole, Maria Torres, Elias Grant, and the remaining officers joined her. They watched the stars together, knowing that they had done what no one else could. Humanity had unleashed its full potential and had changed the fate of the galaxy forever. Somewhere in the galaxy, alien species whispered of the humans who had fought alone, who had adapted, survived, and won. They spoke of courage, intelligence, and the terrifying unpredictability of human ingenuity. And they knew, deep down, that the humans would always return if the galaxy was ever in danger again. Kane turned to her officers. "The war is over. The galaxy is safe, for now. But we remain ready. That is what it means to be human. That is our final command." Elias looked at her, awe in his eyes. "And they will remember us?" Kane smiled. "They already do, and they will never forget." As the fleet slowly descended toward Earth, the stars above seemed brighter, clearer, and full of promise. Humanity had survived, humanity had won, and humanity had proven that when no one else could act, humans would. The galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget: never underestimate humanity. And the humans rested, for now, knowing that one day they might have to rise again, but when they did, nothing could stand in their way.